Alright, so let's talk about the question types that you might see on your reading section. What are the question types? So the first question type is words in context. This is the question when you have a word and you need to find this word in the text, see what this word most nearly means, and then pick one of your 4 answer choices, which is the best synonym for this word in that context. This is words in context. Next one, facts and details. This is the most regular question. You will have it a lot in your reading section. It's very similar to any other test in English which you had before. Facts and details, the most common reading question type. So this is the question which asks you something from the text. So what is it that they said there, blah, blah, blah. So you need to just pick the information from the text. All right, facts and details, the second question type. Then we have inferences. This is a little bit harder than the facts and details because in this type of question, we need to make conclusions. This is something that is not written in the text, black and white, but something that is obvious. And the question asks us about something obvious, but what is not written. So we need to read some of the clues and then make a conclusion. So what is most likely happening? What does the author most likely imply there? What is the most likely conclusion out of this? So you need to think a little bit further and choose the answer which states the obvious, but states something that is not written in the text, but that is obvious, all right? We'll talk about all these question types more. The next one is reference. This is when we have a pronoun, for example, they or it or she, and then we need to find out which word is replaced by this pronoun. So we have 4 answer choices. We need to pick a noun which was replaced by this specific pronoun. So it's pretty easy. Place a sentence. So this is when we have a random sentence and we have 4 spots in the text where we can place a sentence. And we need to choose where in these 4 spots this sentence will look the best. All right? And then we have the summaries. These are the questions which come at the very end of each text. These are the questions that worth more points. So we receive more points when we answer them correctly. And even if we answer them not entirely correctly, we can get some of the points. So for example, a question is worth 4 points and you guessed just 50% of it, you can get 1 point still. If you guessed like 75%, you get 2 points or 3 points. So these are the questions that are worth more points. And these are the questions that we already discussed when we discussed the reading technique. It's when you have the topic sentence and you need to pick up those summary statements and do not choose those details, right? So we're gonna dive into each of these question types more. Let's see some examples. So the first one, word problem. So here we have the word, 4 answer choices. This is where the word is. So we need basically to put each answer choice on this spot and see which answer choice looks the best in this context, right? So we don't have to remember from the dictionary what is prevailed. No, you just look at all these answer choices and you put them one by one here and you see what looks best. All right, so this is the word problem. Next, this is a typical facts and details question. So scientists accepted the Milankovitch theory even though, and these are different facts about the theory. We go here, we see all these numbers, 40, 100,000, 125,000, 95,000. So definitely something's going on in here. We need to read it more closely and see which statement is better answering this question. So this is a typical facts and details question. Next, what can be inferred from paragraph 2? So what is the conclusion we can make out of paragraph 2 about the factors? So this is something that is not written right there. So we will not find like exact sentence which says, like, even if it's rephrased, which says something out of this. We will find just the clues, just the hints. But by reading them, something out of these 4 becomes obvious. It's obvious that one of these answer choices is correct. This is the conclusion that we can make. So these questions are a little harder. So usually many people tend to do a lot of mistakes at the beginning when they start doing reading sections exactly with these questions, because inferences are pretty hard. We have to make conclusions. We have to actually think a little bit more, not just find some information in the text, but also think about it. So these questions sometimes might be harder, but it's okay. We're gonna spend a lot of time practicing them. I'm gonna tell you what to look for, and you're gonna be fine. You're gonna deal with them well. All right, so here we have the reference question, we have this pronoun this, and we have 4 answer choices. And this pronoun is replacing one of them. So we have like the entire paragraph with all these different things, and we need to find out this specific pronoun, what is it replacing? So you need to carefully read the text and see what is the most obvious answer choice. This is also an example of the reference question. It's more common. We just have the pronoun it, and we have different nouns which this pronoun it could have been replacing. So we need to choose which one it is replacing. The next one, place a sentence. Here we have a sentence and we have this 4 squares, and we need to choose where, in which square this sentence will look the best. So we need to carefully read all the transitions. For example, here we have furthermore, finally, first, and here we have the 3 most prominent. Here we see the sentence starts with when. So we need to carefully see what is the logic which unites all these sentences and where is the best place for this sentence. So there are a lot of hints. You see all these transitions, first, furthermore, finally, when, and they make it easier for you. If you carefully read all these transitions, you eventually find out what is the best place for this sentence. All right? So this one is the typical summary question. Here we have the thesis statement, and here we have 6 different options, and we need to pick 3 the most important ones out of them. So we need to choose which ones are supporting this thesis statement, and we do not choose those which are just details, which are not supporting the idea with some other major idea. All right? This is another example of the summary question. It's more difficult. This question is worth 4 points, so that one was just 2 points. This one is 4 points. So it's more difficult question, and it's not that common. Usually you will have this question. But sometimes you can have this, and we have 2 groups and then some answer choices, and we need to put some of the answer choices to some of the groups. We have some of them which are not going anywhere, and then the others go either in this group or in this group. So you need to be very careful and put all these flaws and different theories in the right section. So these are the question types that you will encounter on the TOEFL test, and in the next lectures we're gonna dive into each one of them and see what techniques can help you to solve all of them very well.